Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Hey, Jordy, did you know that we're on other platforms too?
Really, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and if you would like to talk to us, Discord and Reddit.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you should subscribe too. Thank you.
One take.
I'm not doing that. It's not happening.
It's happening.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone.
That was a bit of a long intro.
Yeah, wasn't it? Isn't this funny? Would you expect a jump scare? Would you expect Event Horizon jump scare, dude?
I just realized we should probably talk about the movie.
Yeah. I bet we've said that 31 times, at least.
30 times.
Well, counting today, 31.
But today hasn't happened yet.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. We watched Event Horizon, and guess what? I now have a new favorite movie, or at least a new top 10 movie.
Did we watch the movie or did the movie watch us?
That would be an interesting plot point. I don't think the movie was watching us. I'm not certain.
It's watching us.
Tom just turned me down, which means I've just been peeking. I've been peeking all day, dude.
Yeah.
I've been extra yelly. So sorry for everyone who listens on the weekend, because it's the same as well there.
Jordy was so peaking that he made a Scooby-Dooby-Doo joke and inserted like Jews in it, because obviously "do" rhymes with Jew. I don't know why like he does this, but it's recorded and I'm gonna upload it separately. That's how peaking you are.
Yeah.
Peaking like a duck, Jordy.
Yeah. This is fucking great content right here.
Jordy, this is quite possibly one of my favorite movies, mainly because I love Dead Space. I love sci-fi horror. I love cool spaceship. I love
Cool spaceship,
Sam Neill.
medical bay horror theme.
things that look fucking horrifying.
This movie has some of the fucking dopest like screenshot moments I've ever seen
Yeah.
in a movie ever. Like, I don't usually walk away from many flick view episodes being like, oh, fuck yeah, that was great. I usually walk away going, why the fuck did I choose to watch this tonight? Because my brain hurts and now I have to think, and I'm not very good at that. And I don't like to do that
Yeah.
much. But this movie, luckily, was still dope, and I didn't have to think about it that much. And there was only a few times where I had to ask Tom, being my backseat scientist that I have on hand, whether it was true or not.
Yeah.
To which he did confirm it was.
Because I'm just like, there was a point where they were talking about space physics and stuff, like, oh, bending space and time. Jordy was like, is that true? And I was like, yeah. I don't know what you were expecting me to like explain it. Like, oh yeah, if you go to this fundamental here, like,
I just expect you to know everything, that's all.
I mean, it's just basic like sci-fi shit. Like, you can
basic.
That's
You,
fucking
you,
basic.
you
at this
fold a
point.
poster in half and then put a pen in it. It's basic.
They do that in every movie when they explain time, fucking space travel and like warp engines and shit. Think about it. I think Sam Neill has done two at this point. There's another movie which I can't remember where he literally does the exact same thing. He folds a piece of paper and puts a pencil through it.
Maybe he just
That's-
likes to do that.
That's just a trope for like explaining how like black holes work and like warp drives and shit. Yeah, speaking of warp drives, this movie is a secret prequel to Warhammer 40k.
Is there actually Warhammer movies, or is it just like a board? I don't even know what Warhammer is.
Warhammer is a sci-fi universe, Jordy.
Is it?
There is games, there is board games, and there is a fan-made movie series which is fucking awesome.
Oh, made by one dude, right?
Yeah.
And he just fucking goes way over the top.
Yeah, and it's all blue and shit.
Yeah.
So the reason why this is a secret prequel to Warhammer 40k is because in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, 40k for short.
Yeah.
40,000,000. That's million. Sorry.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
40000.
they have space travel technology, fast and light travel, which involves them going to the Immatorium, which is basically hell, or it's called the Warp, and the ships they use, they have to be shielded or else they'll have psychological demonic influences, which sounds an awful lot like this movie.
Yeah. This movie... All right, before... If you know nothing about this movie,
Have we been recording for 9 minutes already?
because we were just leaving it running.
Oh, right,
before.
okay.
Before you do, not safe for work, I guess, because there's some fucked up shit like bodies being strung
I
in
think
half and shit.
watching a movie at work is kind of frowned upon anyways.
Well, yeah, that's true. But look up just fucking screenshots from this movie before you even watch
horrifying.
it. And it's like nightmare fuel.
It's just actual gore.
And they go to this ship called the Event Horizon, and fucked up shit does ensue.
Just scary looking. Everything about it is scary. Like it's all dark and
fucking
it's
dope.
Alien architecture and like weird sci-fi devices that look somewhat like they could be based in reality, but are just menacing looking.
Yeah, and the premise of the movie is that the ship basically fucking is alive,
Travel to hell and back.
and they literally go to hell and back. And there's just the fucking set design is outstanding.
Yeah.
The music is fucking great. The casting is fucking great.
Not much happened in the movie, but
No,
like
that's a good point.
It's about exploring like the fucking people's guilts and secrets and shit. Like, it's kind of horrifying.
The ship kind of knows your secrets and uses them against you and all that type of shit. It's basically a horror movie with one of the greatest sets of all time, because it isn't a cabin in the fucking woods.
They like actually burnt like buildings of just like
the
weird
explosions in this
shit.
movie, man. Like, oh, they're so dope. I swear to God, I said this is fucking sweet like 100 times
like,
watching
this is
this
awesome.
movie.
This is dope.
Yeah.
So many times.
And Tom can vouch. I don't usually say that.
Yeah.
When I'm watching one of the movies from Flickview.
This movie just looks incredible.
Yeah. There's not much else to say other than one, you should watch this movie.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's quite horrifying.
Unless you're squeamish, in which case probably don't, because it actually looks fucking real half the time. Tell them about like all that footage.
Yeah, they basically had to cut out like an hour of people suffering in hell and like horrifying gory imagery and
people
just
being
torture,
fucked up by barbed wire and like split in half and hanging by shit. Basically, if you've ever walked down a corridor in the new Doom game, Doom Eternal, that's what it looks like.
It kind of looks like that. Like it's just all, and like some of the stills you see from like the cut footage, literally you don't know if that's actual movie footage or like snuff film.
Yeah, it's made like, see, this is the type of horror that I like, because there are 2 jump scares in this movie, so I guess if you don't like them, then be warned, there are some.
There are genuinely unsettling points to this movie.
Yeah,
like, just imagery that just like gave me chills multiple
and
points.
I think like I'm going to watch this movie again by myself. I say that a lot, but I'm never actually going to do it for half of those
mostly
movies.
for screenshots for desktop wallpapers.
Literally, if I can't find any good enough ones, I'm going to download it, or I mean, retrieve it legally and get screenshots from that.
Yeah.
And I was looking through the whole thing and I was thinking, man, what can I get a tattoo of this? Yeah. Because it looks so dope, but it's too complex. Everything looks so complex great.
What about like the warp core with the 3 rings and the lights?
Well, that's what I was thinking,
and the black circle in the middle.
Or like when it was opened at the end. Fuck, that was sweet.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. I watched this movie not even like 15-20 minutes ago and I'm already thinking about getting a fucking tattoo of it. It's that cool.
Sweet. You should get the tattoo that guy had that looked like Sharpie.
No, absolutely not. I will not do that.
It was pretty cool looking.
This movie has some gruesome deaths. If you like horror, watch this movie, because I'm pretty sure I've said this on the show before. Typical, if you watch the fucking, I don't know, like modern day horror movies where it's like, what is scary? Little girl is scary. Doll is scary. Nun is scary.
Loud noise constantly equals scary.
Okay, so we have all these scary premises. So what will we do to really get our audience's blood, pumping and everyone getting scared? I know, Sting with loud sound.
I mean, that's kind of the difference between a scary movie and a horrifying movie. Like, this is horror,
Yeah, this is literally fucking horrifying. Yeah. And it's just a movie where they've cranked the gain up every now and then. These new, watch... Tom actually said a very good sentence while we were watching it, which was, they don't make movies like this anymore.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking right.
Because why the fuck, like almost everything in this is like a practical set.
Yeah.
Like the spaceship corridors and all that. Like this weird complex moving geometry of this like warp core shit with spikes on the wall and moving parts. It's all real, and they light it on fire at one point. Like, you would never do that.
Like, I desperately want one of those consoles or something that they had.
Yeah.
Like that, or the chair or something.
Pretty sweet looking.
Fucking dope, dude. And the makeup they had on Miller at the end when he was spoilers alert, but I'll look for it. I've gotten in the habit of when the new episode comes out of Flickview, like as soon as I find out on my way home after recording, I mention what movie we watched. So if you do want to know beforehand so you can watch it and this doesn't spoil it for you, follow the Splitview Pod at Splitview Pod on Twitter.
This movie had a lot of technological shit in it as well, like a lot of screens that looked really awesome, like green screen effects that looked like fucking
Oh my god,
perfect.
yeah.
I mean, there was some kind of crusty matte lines when they're outside of the ship, and there was some weird comedic moments that maybe didn't fit, but on repeat,
Justin!
yeah, baby bear, fuck this shit. Oh no, fuck this ship was awesome. And then what the fuck was it? Like, he reads the console and they were like, we've been to hell, and he's like, we're leaving.
yeah.
Like, it's awesome, but also like corny in a way. It's like the perfect mix.
It's fucking great. Rhetorical question, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah,
I've already said I would. There's nothing more to be said about this movie, unless you have something, but I'm convinced we've said all that we can say, because I don't even want to give away anymore.
No, really? I mean, I just liked how Sam Neill looked like a neophyte, if you know what that is.
I don't.
Okay, well, if you know what that is, you know what that is.
Yeah,
so.
you can have that's a little special for you.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you all for listening. See you for next week for the last flick view of the series. And have a good night.